Hello, Rixes. Welcome to episode 7 of the WRIGS Podcast, weekly reflection, introspection, gratitude, and sharing podcast. Once again, unscripted. I thought about making some notes multiple times throughout the week, and I just didn't, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to wing it once again. It is Monday morning here in Australia. Not really the normal time I record at usually, but life schedule is making me doing it now. And by making me, I'm making me. Right now I could have a lot of excuses to skip a week and not record and just not reflect on my week and my life at the moment, but the goal is to be held accountable and to do it weekly, so yeah, I'm sure I'll feel better. Right now I feel a little bit like a chore. I don't really know what to say, but I'm still gonna try, because it's about consistency. That's what matters the most. So yeah, let's dive in. The last week started a bit, I freaked out a little bit because right now my main job is I'm gonna have less hours, so less money. My second main job is getting a lot more quiet because of the school holidays, so I'm gonna get less money as well. So I assumed, and I was heavily relying on my third job to be able to provide hours, and unfortunately I did not get rostered. So there was a little bit of panic here because I was wondering how I was going to do with money. This sense of unknown and insecurity was very overwhelming and not the best feeling. I ended up having a chat with my friend who's the manager who does the roster for that place, and asking if everything was okay because we had spoken a week before and I told her my availability, and basically she misread the availability on the rostering system, even though we messaged by text, so I told her which days I was available, but I don't know, I'm trying. I know she didn't mean to, but it's a bit frustrating. Yeah, I was pretty annoyed, pretty frustrated, because it's like, come on, man, we literally texted each other about it 3 days ago. Like, that being said, I don't really know the pressure they're under or not, etc. But yeah, so I was a bit boiling inside. I was very annoyed, and I tried to stay patient. I'm like, okay, we'll figure it out. And that's what I told myself. I had no idea how, but I told myself that I would figure it out, manifesting in some way. I guess so. I was like, maybe the second I had plans. Basically, I had plans. I was like, oh well, those plans are gonna have to be sacrificed, unfortunately. It's annoying, it's frustrating, but I'm doing this for myself and for my future. So, it's just I had to do it. Really. Talking with my friend was also good because it cleared up the fact that maybe there was some sort of issue. Because that's something that popped up into my mind straight away, thinking, oh, they don't want me there anymore. I couldn't find any other reason why, except for the fact that I don't work there a lot. But it quickly went into my mind to be like, oh, that's it. I'm not going to get any shift. I'm going to be in trouble. I don't know how I'm going to get ahead in life, and etc. etc. But talking with my friend was good because it cleared that thing, and so I felt a little bit better after that. Although, so that was on a Tuesday that we had this chat, So felt better. The Wednesday I had heaps of appointment, some medical ones, bit of a checkup, everything's fine. So that's a little bit of a weight off the shoulder. Not that I was worried, but still, it's good to hear. And yeah, Wednesday was pretty okay. Did a little bit of driving, a little bit of money, but on Thursday was very quiet again on the driving side, money wise. So again, this feeling of not knowing if I'm gonna meet both ends, or whatever the English is, paying the bills, etc. I was like, this is getting stressful. And luckily, gratefully, my boss at my main job before offered me more hours this week just gone. Probably did an extra 10 hours than I normally would. So that was really excuse me. And that was very welcome. Really grateful for the opportunity to work more and get more hours, because that brought some sense of safety and security into my world at the moment. It's always this time of year is always a bit weird for me. It's Christmas. Christmas is in 2 days now. I'm happy because it's Christmas, but I'm also always a bit sad because I'm far from my family, and I'm alone. I don't have any partner, obviously. You know that if you've been following for a while. It's this kind of milestone throughout the year, not milestone, but festivities where everybody's gathering together, etc. It can be hard to be single, especially when you're far from your family. And yeah, it's always a weird time of the year. But I'm trying to be patient with myself. Again, trying to think everything's going to be okay. And I'm showing up for myself, and it's the best I can do is just be here on a daily basis without projecting myself too far into the future. That was the Thursday. Then I managed to pick up a shift from that third job, which gave me again a bit of peace of mind. I had to again cancel my plans. I had planned a big a long day at the beach to get some rest, to recharge. It was meant to be, it was great weather, but again, it's about priorities. I could have choose the easy path and made by this week, but I chose to work a 10-hour shift for my future. I'm investing in my future. So yeah, really mixed feelings this week. This sense of I can't do what I really want to do right now this time of year, which is relaxing, sharing moments with friends and family, but also this sense of pride because I'm showing up for myself and I'm investing into my future. So yeah, it's I'm in between two chairs, as they say, and it can be a bit destabilizing. 1 minute I'm fine, 1 minute I'm like, oh, what am I doing? And then I'm like, no, you've got this. And then I go, now what are you doing? It's yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only one who it's ever happened to, but it's stressful. And yeah, I think that was Thursday. Friday I got basically an offer for my driving job, and basically if I drive a lot I'm gonna get a lot of money, put it simple. If I do 70 trips I'll get $700, which obviously is a lot of money for me. So since Friday, I've just been driving as much as I can, figuring out the settings and the eligibility of it. Thankfully, it's been pretty. It started on good basis. I think I'm on 25 rides out of 70, so in 3 days, and I've got until New Year's Eve, so I've technically have 9 more days. Well, 7 because there's a couple of days when I'm not gonna drive. I had high hopes to do some stuff on Boxing Day 26 and 27 this week coming. Just some gigs, just some time for me. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do it. And it's annoying, but it is what it is. And sometimes you have to take one on the chin and keep moving forward, which is pretty much where I'm at right now. And yeah, it's all a bit of a blur because of the holidays. But I've got a couple of lunches and dinner with friends, like Christmas orphans, organized. I'm looking forward to this, catching up with everyone, organizing, etc. But I digress. Let's go back to the week. Friday, so did a bit of driving because of that news from the driving partner. And Saturday, caught up, did some coaching, caught up with some friends to watch some sports on TV, which was nice, although I did expect more. Originally, it was just one friend and I to catch up, and like we do semi-regularly, but then he ended up inviting more people and we didn't catch up really. There was no, it was just like 4 blokes talking shit, which is fine. Again, there's nothing wrong with it. I guess what bothers me is that it's the difference between my expectations and what really happened. What really happened is not a bad thing, but because I expected something else, then it turns out that I'm not too happy with it. Maybe not, it's a bit strong, but I don't know, left me feeling a bit funny. So I guess what I'm trying to go with this is that it's how you reframe whatever happens, right? It's not about what happens, it's about how you reframe it. I was expecting something that didn't happen, so I felt disappointed, but then I reframed it and I was like, I got to hang out with my friend and watch some sports, which we haven't done in forever. So I'm pretty grateful for that, actually, and that we all made a bit of time into our busy days to be able to hang out together. Yeah, that's about what it is. And I on Saturday evening I went driving. So after catching up with my friends, I drove a little bit in the afternoon, and then I drove a little bit more in the evening at night. And for those of you who follow, you'd remember that last week I had a bit of I don't know, not adventure, like an eventful Saturday night that ended up leaving me very frustrated, because I just read the story. Last weekend I was in a bar, and by the end of the night I was having a chat with a girl that I was quite attracted to, and we were having a good chat. Her friend was there too, and we were deciding where place to go next, which bar. And it was going back and forth for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and ended up being like, girls, you can choose. I'm just going to go to the toilet and I'll be back and we can go. And when I came back, they were gone. They just left without me, not saying goodbye. And I was really pissed off, probably because I was intoxicated, but I was fuming. And I was just like, how fucking rude. Like, if you're not interested, that's fine. But at least just say it or make up something. Actually, I'm really tired. I'd rather go home. And it's cool. Just be polite. Just say goodbye. Anyway, yeah, I was really pissed off. It took me a solid 12 hours and a good night's sleep to sort of cool down and realize it had nothing to do with me and it was on these people. But last night, while I was not last night, 2 nights ago, when I was driving Uber, guess who I picked up? Old mate. Well, actually, not the girl I was interested in, but her friend. And she was with another friend, and they got into the Uber and started chatting while I was driving. And she said, I know you from somewhere. And I don't really look at who gets in the car, you know. And it was dark because it was at night, and I was trying to look into the mirror, didn't recognize her at all. And I was like, nah, you don't ring a bell. And she's like, no, but I know you. And then eventually, I think there was a traffic light and it was well lit, so I turned around and I looked and I recognized it was one of the girl, the friend, that walked out on me the week before. So I did say that. I was like, I don't know. Things went through my mind. What do I do? Do I say I don't recognize him? Do I say I do? Do I mention what they did? Do I not? Do I play it cool, even though it goes against my values? And so I told her I recognized her. I was like, oh yeah, you were at this place last week, weren't you? And she was like, yes. Oh. She was like, oh, I knew I recognized you from somewhere. And I decided to say something, and I said, as cheeky as I could, I said, oh yeah, I remember you. You and your friend walked out on me. Left without saying goodbye. How rude. And she was, oh yeah, we were really drunk. Making excuses. I didn't push any further. I didn't need to. I said what I had to say. Karma. What were the odds, right? But then realized that I actually genuinely dodged the bullet because that girl called her friend, the one I was chatting up, to be like, it's the guy. She was on the phone. She was like, he's the Uber driver. And she was literally whispering like a drunk whisperer, so I could pretty much hear what she was saying. And same, I had a choice. Do I really try to listen what these people who don't align with my values have to say about me, or do I just focus on the music that I had and drive? And I did the second one, and I'm quite happy I did. These people are not worth my time. Anyone who behaves with you like this, these people are not worth your time. Something I've been hearing lately into the other podcast that I'm listening, and whenever you pursuing something, or you've got a bit of a conundrum, you don't know what to do, is it worth it, is what you should ask you. Is that person worth it? Worth your time? Worth you going back and forth inside your brain about what to do? Is it worth it? More often than not, it won't. So you can be at peace with yourself. And that's what I did, and I'm quite glad. And I think it's what I did all week, really. Like when I was upset with my friend not rostering me, like, is it worth going mad at her because I didn't get rostered, even though it's an accident? Or is it better for me to just move on and try to find a solution to my problem? It's easy, right? You move on and you find a solution to your problem. It's what I've been doing all week. And again, it shows real progress. I think I would have past a older version of me would have been stuck on the semantics of like, what am I going to do? And I can't believe they did that. And oh, of course, I'm picking up the chick that walked out on me a week later. Only happens to me. This is what I would have been doing in the past. But it shows how much I've grown. Because now I go, is it worth my time? Is it worth me worrying about this? It's not. It's not at all. I've been trying to call a friend for the past 3 weeks, every Sunday, because they're in France. Time difference, work schedule, etc. Sundays is usually the best day. And 3 weeks ago, they forgot that I was meant to call. They didn't reply. Last week, same, called them, no reply. Just got to text them if they are sorry I missed your call. No attempt to reorganize something. And then yesterday was their birthday, so basically because of the time difference, I messaged Saturday very late at night here to wish them a happy birthday a bit early because it was the right date for me but not for them. And I said I would call at that time, this particular time. And now that I think of it, he never said okay, but he never said no. And yes, last night when I tried to call at the particular time that I said, no reply once again. And all I got when I woke up this morning was a text saying, oh sorry, I was busy doing this and that. And in my head he goes, but you knew I was going to call. I'm not saying cancel your plans. If you're busy, you're busy. But let me know. I don't know. I feel very weird about this. I just don't understand. Why would you not let me know that you were busy? So instead of feeling like I've called and you've ignored me, I could have been like, not worrying about it. Because now it's weighing on me, and I know I'm doing this to myself for this thing weighing on me, but it's a bit annoying. Yeah, they're like, oh, maybe on the 24th, and I'm like, I'm busy, but then I want to talk to them because I haven't heard from them in a while, and like I'm annoyed, but again, is it worth being annoyed? Probably not. Probably not. Man, being wise is hard, eh? No, it's okay. I'll try to call on Tuesday. And we'll see. But there's a part of me that wants to be like, well, I've made the efforts. Now it's on you to make the efforts, because otherwise I'm the only one who gives in a relationship. And that's what's for everything, for friendship and romantic relationships. But do I do this because I want something in return? And if it starts draining me, I just stop. I'm not worried about our friendship. It's not going to happen. But yeah, it's a bit not ideal. Yeah, that's my week. Weird episode this week. Sorry, guys. I know, not very organized. Not very not a solid theme to the week. I think the common denominator to all of that happened this week for me is that I stayed patient with myself. I treated myself kindly. Whenever I felt stressed or anxious or frustrated or annoyed, I gave space. I allowed myself to feel that. And being in tune with my emotion has helped me. Alright, you're stressed. It makes sense. You're worried about money. but you figure it out. All right, you are anxious, you don't know how you're going to do. It makes sense. Don't feel bad for being anxious. Don't feel bad for prioritizing, for sacrificing the pleasures of your life, because it's a small investment right now for a bigger return in the future. Don't feel bad for wanting more from a relationship with your friends, because I've got my own values, you've got your own values. Sometimes they match, sometimes they don't. And I think I can't expect everyone to have the same values as me, and I can't let myself be overwhelmed when people don't have the same values as me. So it's normal that I feel frustrated. It's normal that I feel annoyed, impatient. The normal human emotions. Moving on is the best thing to do. Staying calm and trusting your life choices, I guess. So I guess that's the big thing. It's normal to feel annoyed when someone you're attracted to just walked out on you in a rude way, and then they get brought back into your life randomly just because. Even my algorithm suggested me on my socials, like friends you may know and want to add my ex. I was like, no, don't want to. And it's like all these little things come at you because I just want to leave me alone. Like, I've had enough. Like, life is hard enough. I don't need all this shit. But my first instinct was to be, why am I mad that this chick is going into my taxi? Why am I mad that this girl is popping up into my social suggestions? Like, I was mad at being mad. I was mad that it affected me, because in my head it shows that I haven't worked, I haven't progressed, and I'm still insecure, etc. But the trigger is okay. What shows growth is the ability to go, yes, you're triggered because what those two girls did is just rude and it's not to my values. Yes, you're triggered because at a moment in my life I was picturing myself with this chick. I thought I had found the perfect girl, and we only dated for like a month, but I was like, oh yeah. And that's when I was, I guess, immature in my head and needed validation, etc. So it's normal because I had made this perfect plan and it felt real. So it's normal that whenever a picture shows up, I go, oh yeah, this is what I could have had. But then the mature version is to be, yeah, it's normal to feel this kind of regret. Sorry guys, we got cut for some reason, not too sure what happened, but I was saying, yeah, it's normal to feel some regret maybe about what could have happened, but it's the mature thing to do is to acknowledge your emotions and be in tune with it. Yes, I'm sad that it never happened, because I've made it so real even though it wasn't. And that's okay. I'm better now. I've progressed. I've learned about myself. I'm more patient. So that's when you know you've made progress, because you can acknowledge your feelings without letting them taking control over you. And that's my message for this week, I guess. And just be okay with the uncomfortable. Be patient with yourself acknowledge that you've got emotions too. Look as to why. Is it worth worrying about? And if it is, then find a solution. Work at it. It's not going to be easy, but work at it. If it's not worth worrying about, let's just move on. It doesn't matter who's right. There's a saying, right? Do you want to be right, or do you want to be at peace? I want to be at peace, personally. So yeah, sorry. End of the episode's a little bit chopped up, obviously because of the camera issues. But look, I'm glad that this again, a little bit not very streamlined, a little bit everywhere this week, but we got here in the end. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. And as always, I'm doing this for me, but I'm glad it can help you. See you next week.